Afternoon and welcome to Game 4 this afternoon. This is a game between South Sea Banshees and the Witches of Eastwick. Before we start, could we take a moment to acknowledge the country? We acknowledge the Dja Dja Wurrung people as the traditional custodians of the country we are competing on today. And jamming for the Witches of Eastwick is Cupcake Fairy. With and jamming for South Sea, we have Paralyzer. So for South Seas, we have Grim Reaper coming out. And Shore Breeze Shortcake. Okay, for South Seas we have M-Dog coming out, and for the Witches, Knives to Meet You. And while we're changing up lineups, I'd like to say a thank you to our refs and non-skating officials for helping make this day a success, as well as our wonderful first aid teams.
So we get jam number 4 well and truly underway. It's JR here back on the mic, helping out my co-commentator Sparks in their first game as a commentator. All the action now taking place down the back straightaway, and that one comes to an end. I think I'm here only just for a short time. There is another commentator making their way, I think, I hope. Anyway, I'll hang around.
And that is Paralyzer. So Spin and Tonic, nice to meet you. The two jammers on track, nice to meet you. Nicely done. And get through the pack. Lead jammer going the way of East Vic. And nice to meet you is through the pack. It was a nice move there, Sparks, from nice to meet you on that previous pass, just finding some territory to the inside part of turns 3 and 4 to get on through. And it's 4 more points for East Vic. And jamming for the Witches, we have number 55, Cupcake Fairy.
Nice move there from Cupcake Fairy on that previous pass to pick up another 4 points. And this is turning into be a very, very nice jam in terms of points accumulated for the Witches of East Vic. Actually starting to really stamp their authority on this game. Cupcake Fairy at the moment, Sparks is still on a power jam as the jam before South Sea remains in the penalty box as this one comes to its natural conclusion. Very nice 20 points there for Cupcake Fairy. 23 points, in fact, moving East Vic along to 56. And South Sea on 7.
And for the Witches, we have Knives to Meet You. Back on track for South Sea is Vicious Citrus. And for South Sea, we have Paralyzer, who's taken the lead. With Natto Ninetails jamming for the Witches.
Yeah, nicely done there. Sparks for the Witches of East Vic. The star pass again, then completed. Natto Ninetails now the recognised jammer for East Vic. Nicely done. Unfortunately for Nat, it's a cut track. So it is now power jam for South Sea and Paralyzer. Looks like we're going to have our first official timeout as being signalled there by the jam timer. Just tick over 16 minutes to go in this first half. East Vic comfortably on 71 points. South Sea Royal Derby on 19. Cut to some music whilst we wait for the referees or whatever to have a bit of a discussion.
Okay. And for the Witches, we have Evie. And with Southsea, we have Grim Reaper. And we are currently on a power jam for Southsea.
Yeah, unfortunately, Sparks Eve picking up a penalty there puts Southsea on a power jam, and a good opportunity for Grim Reaper to try and score as many points as possible while the jammer advantage is in play. Very handy jam there on the previous jam, Sparks. 12 points for East Vic. 8 points for South Sea as we find ourselves under another official timeout. So the two jammers on the track. We have Vicious Citrus for South Sea, Strawberry Short Skate for East Vic. And looks like there are two blockers in the penalty box, so a little bit of 3-on-3 action in terms of blockers available on track. And Pack not too hell-bent on getting out of turns 1 and 2.
And that's Vicious Citrus for South Sea. And Cupcake Fairy has come out of the pack for the Witches of East Vic. And jamming for the Banshees will be Paralyzer. And jamming for our two teams on this jam is Knives to Meet You and Vicious Citrus.
Lead jammer going the way of Knives to Meet You and East Vic. And it's the pack now slowly coming down the back straight. Just a one blocker then for Knives to get past. Does so nicely. And with that is 4 more points for the East Vic scoreline. And whilst all that was happening, Sparks, it is now a power jam for Knives to Meet You and East Vic. Unfortunately for Vicious Citrus, it is a visit to the penalty box.
And both teams are giving our jammers some incredibly tough defence to get through. So what have we got, Sparks? Just a tick over 8 minutes to go. 109 East Vic, 27 South Sea. As that whistle gets jam number 14 underway. Spin and Tonic for South Sea and Cupcake Fairy for East Vic, the two jammers out there on track.
So we're under another official timeout.
And as we start Jam 15 in this first half, we have M-Dog taking lead for Southsea, and jamming for the Witches we have Strawberry Short Skate.
As the pack comes down the back straight away, M-Dog met solidly by number 09, Nat O'Ninetails. As the pack now comes into turn number 3, the defence from the Witches of East Vic, very, very strong. 3-5-1, push-up Ras in amongst that as well.
Both teams, their defence is very tight, giving each jammer a very hard time getting through.
A nice little apex jump there from M-Dog on that previous pass, not landing it quite as nicely. That's okay, it was inbounds. All good to go. Pack now coming down the main straightaway. Nicely done there from Strawberry Short Skate for East Vic, getting on through. It's 4 more points for them.
And that's the start of Jam 16 in this first half. We have for the Witches, Knives to Meet You jamming, along with Paralyzer for the Banshees.
It's not often you see a jammer actually skate out of bands to the inside part of the track like that, but that's okay. Knives was quick to correct that. Back out on track now. Oh, nice big hit to the inside part of the back straightaway. Knives is okay. All's fair in love and war, as they say.
And while they're setting up for the next jam, I'd just like to give a mention to Talk Derby to Me, who have a wonderful stall over on the far wall, and our wonderful coffee van for keeping us all caffeinated today. And we have an official review underway. And so we currently have an official review pending at the moment. And while we're waiting the outcome of the official review, I'd like to give a big thank you to all of those people that are NSOing for us today. We couldn't do days like this without you. I'd also like to thank our spectators today. Some have been here since 9 o'clock this morning, and we'll still have another game to go. I know the skaters really like hearing the cheers and support, and it's great to be able to hear that as well.
So we're still under an official timeout. So the nature of that call, Southsea were looking for a lack of a directional call on the previous jam. Unfortunately, they lost that review, so the call stands.
And as we start our Jam 17, we have Strawberry Shortcake out for the Witches, and we have for the Banshees Spin and Tonic. So, as we have had both jammers paying our beautiful penalty box timers a visit, no one has lead jam, so this jam will go the full 2 minutes.
So as quick as Spin and Tonic entered into the penalty box, they are back out on track. So both jammers on track, a full complement of blockers on both teams are on track.
And both packs of blockers are making our jammers work extremely hard for every single point.
Nicely done by Strawberry Short Skate on that previous pass, just using the outside part of turn number 1. It's 4 more points then for the Witches of East Vic.
And as we approach getting closer to that halfway mark, we currently have Southsea Banshees on 46 and the Witches of East Vic 156. And out in lead for the Witches is Cupcake Fairy. And so we have a bit of a power jam for South Sea at the moment with Paralyzer.
Fortunately there for Cupcake Fairy, it's a visit to the penalty box, so a good chance now for Paralyzer to pick up as many points as possible whilst the jammer advantage is in play. And clearly the blocker advantage is in play as well. Slowly but surely the cavalry arrive back on track for East Vic.
And that is half time in this game between the South Sea Banshees and the Witches of East Vic. Scoreline is South Sea 65, Witches 164. We're going to have a break for about 15 minutes, so feel free to go and support our lovely coffee van or talk Debbie to me, and we'll see you soon. Getting ready to start the second half of this game 4 of Statewide Stampede round 1. Our wonderful officials are now on track. They're doing a wonderful job keeping the game running smooth, along with our NSOs, especially our wonderful scoreboard operator and scorekeepers.
So that whistle then gets us back underway. Second half action, East Vic taking on South Sea. Paralyzer, it is lead jammer for South Sea. Cupcake Ferry, the jammer for East Vic. Nicely done by Paralyzer on the previous pass to pick up 4 more points. Not to be outdone, Cupcake Ferry also picking up early points.
And another successful scoring run for Paralyzer, with Evie number 2 from the Witches of Eastwick visiting our lovely penalty box.
So both jammers going toe to toe. It's 12 points apiece so far in this jam. Now slowly just coming down into turn number 1 off the main straightaway. Both jammers are being held up nicely by the defensive blocking styles. Both sets of blockers that were out on the track, but this one comes to its natural end from Paralyzer. Picking up 19 points, moving South Sea along to 84 with the 19 points also from Cupcake Ferry, moving East Vic along to 183.
And coming out for the Witches of Eastwick is Strawberry Short Skates, number 4.
now coming into turn number 3. Grim Reaper it is then jamming for South Sea. Just trying to find some space to the inside part of turn 3. Not going to happen. The Witches of East Vic block is more than up for the challenge. 0-9, Natto Ninetails there just holding up Grim. Very nice job. 3-5-1 push-up rise in amongst it, as well as the pack make their way down the main straightaway.
Both defensive packs are making our jammers work very hard for every move. And coming out the front for South Sea Roller Derby, we have number 35, Paralyzer, along with Knives to Meet You for the Witches. Both packs making the jammers work extremely hard. And we are into the first official timeout for this half. And while our timeout is happening, I thought I'd introduce you to our lovely officials that are helping out on this game today. We have Buster Hammy, Bullseye, Tenacious Rex, Library Fine, Blizzard, General Pain, Scare Bear, Nitro Gin, Hurl Scout, Pee-wee, Executioner, 5284, Corey, Miss Cray Cray, Psych, Beck and Snipples. Thank you for all your help with this game today. We have coming out the Rumour for the Witches of East Vic. And jamming for the Banshees will be Spin and Tonic.
I think it's the first time we've seen the Rumour on track as a jammer in this game. And fair to say, nicely done to get out and pick up lead jammer for East Vic. As a pack now coming through turn number 2. South City blockers giving the Rumour plenty of work to do coming through turn number 2. East Vic blockers likewise are giving Spin and Tonic plenty to think about. Entering into turn number 3.
And we have a power jam happening now for the Witches of East Vic.
Nicely done there by the Roomer. Sensing that the opposition jammer was sent to the penalty box, wasted absolutely zero time in calling that one off. And strategically so, because that now puts number 5-5 Cupcake Fairy in a power jam position as we get jam number 5 underway. Pack now making its way through to turn number 4.
And jamming now for South Sea is 999 M-Dog.
Yeah, and that's come off the back of a successful star pass, Sparks. So M-Dog now to recognise jammer for South Sea. That's not worrying Cupcake Fairy too much. It's 4 more points then for East Vic. Nicely done there by Cupcake Fairy. 12 points, stretching the East Vic Roller Derby League. 15 points, sorry. So East Vic find themselves on 226. South Sea on 98. Got roughly 19 and 3/4 minutes remaining in this.
And we are in another timeout. Okay, and we have just started jam number 6 in this second half. Nice to meet you for the Witches of Eastwick is out on lead. Jamming for the Banshees will be Paralyzer.
Nicely done then from Knives to meet you on the previous pass to find some real estate on the inside part of turn 2 to get the 4 points on that particular pass. It was to the outside part of turn 2, so Knives to meet you, more than happy to use all the track in order to try and get on through the pack now whilst all that was going on.
And now it's a bit of a power jam situation for the Witches.
Now coming through turns 3 and 4. Nice to meet you, trying to find the way on the outside. That's not going to work. The Banshees blockers were all over that move.
And we now have an official time out again. And while we have that timeout occurring, I'd like to thank on behalf of all our skaters, Ballarat Roller Derby League for hosting this first round of statewide Stampede in 2023. It's been a great start.
There's been some absolute ripping games to kick us off for the 2023 statewide Stampede season. Sparks, as you said, if this is what we've got to look forward to for the remainder of the year, then look out. It's going to be an absolute belter. Some different teams, different looking teams. The lineups have changed over the summer break. Skaters retiring, skaters transferring. It never stops, even over the summer period. There's plenty going on behind the scenes. There's new look teams, teams that we've seen in the past. We've got new uniforms.
I'm looking forward to seeing how our low contact skaters develop during this series.
The game that we had prior to this, again, if there's any indication of the next round of superstars to eventually become bounding skaters, which is what that program is set up for. And I think the sport's in a pretty healthy state. Both teams happy to stay out on track, having a bit of chat. Both bench coaches rather, having a bit of chat to their skaters.
And some track repairs going on at the moment.
Common thing in roller derby, we quite often rip up tape and make a mess of the track. So we do have to stop from time to time just to make sure that nothing impacts the skaters, certainly to the point that can put a skater down or injure them. Hence is why we have these sorts of timeouts.
And as we're about to recommence, we have Southsea Roller Derby on 98 with East Vic Roller Derby on 246. And jamming for the Witches is Cupcake Fairy, and for the Banshees, Paralyzer.
Cupcake Fairy wasting no time getting through the pack to establish league jammer status. The initial pass all done, it's all about points from here on in.
And
There's the pack now. Coming off of turn 2, down the back straightaway.
And with that penalty, we now have a power jam occurring in favour of the Witches of East Vic.
So the blocker advantage going the way of South Sea. Again, not worrying Cupcake Ferry too much. 4 more points picked up on that previous pass. And East Vic roller derby, the Witches of East Vic have a very, very nice lead.
24 points in that jam for East Vic. We have an official timeout happening, and with a little over 15 minutes left of this game, we have Witches of East Vic on 270 points and South Sea Banshees on 98.
I'd like to say, Sparks, it's anyone's game, but I think that scoreline suggests otherwise. It's a very nice lead that East Vic currently hold on to.
Oh, both teams are making the other work for every single point.
So once we have the opportunity, again, a big shout out to the ARC here in Daylesford. They are fantastic supporters of roller derby here in Victoria. It's not the first time we'll be here this year. I'm sure we'll be back at some point when other leagues have their turn to host. So a big thank you to the ARC here in Daylesford. Also a big shout out to our 2 paramedics who are just behind the scoreboard over the far side of the track in pink. They do a fantastic job in keeping all of our skaters safe. So we do thank them very, very much for their time and support of our wonderful sport.
And now we're about to recommence. And for coming out in lead with the Witches of East Vic is Strawberry Shortskate. Jamming for Banshees is Vicious Citrus. That was a rather short but sweet jam with 4 points for East Vic.
Yeah, very much a hit it and quit it, try and get quick points and then call it off, but not to be outdone. South Sea also picking up 2 points, and with that 2 points, they cracked the 100 mark, 100 exactly, playing 274. Bit of a slow start to jam number 9 now. We get the Jets on, and it's Evie, lead jammer for the Witches of East Vic.
And we have Grim Reaper jamming for the Banshees. And given we have no current lead jammer, this jam will go the entire 2 minutes.
As the pack comes down into turn number 3, Grim Reaper just has the 2 East Vic blockers to try and negotiate. Grim Reaper taken to the inside part of turn 4, the recycle. Almost back into the start of turn 3 there, Sparks, and Grim Reaper, unfortunately, with it all to do all over again.
I must say both packs are doing extremely good defensive work. And South Sea Banshees got 8 points for that round, so now they're on 108, with East Vic getting 2 points and 276. And we now have an official timeout. And we are back on track for jam number 10 at the second half. And this will be a 2-minute jam, as no skater has a lead jammer, which means the full 2 minutes. And paralysers coming through for South Sea Banshees. And we have strawberry short skate for the Witches. Both jammers having to work extremely hard to get through their packs. And we now have less than 10 minutes to go in this second half. And then another official timeout. about to resume after an official timeout. It will be Jam 10. Oh, Jam 11. And we have Cupcake Fairy for the Witches out in lead.
It was nicely done there from Cupcake Fairy, I should say, to get through, pick up lead jammer whilst on power jam. This pack now slowly coming through turn number 1. Paralyzer has since been released from the penalty box back out on track. So it looks like, Sparks, we are now going to have another power jam for Cupcake Fairy and the Witches of East Vic. Unfortunately for Paralyzer, picking up a cut track. Pack now just slowly coming through into turn number 4.
And at the end of that jam, we have South Sea Roller Derby on 114 points and the Witches of East Vic on 306 points. We have just a tad over 7 minutes left to play in this game. And we have jamming for our teams. We have Push Up Ra for the Witches of East Vic. And we are now in a power jam with Vicious Citrus currently visiting our penalty box. Both packs doing some amazing defence. Making our jammers work hard for every inch of game. And we've had a star pass with Vicious Citrus now being jammer for South Sea. With less than 5 minutes to go as our lineups line up for the next jam. For those watching at home, if you are liking what you see, please pay a visit to any of our teams playing today. They have their socials. Leave them a message. They'll love it. And jamming out again for Witches of Eastwick is a Cupcake Fairy. Taking the jam for South Sea Banshees, Spin and Tonic. Another quick but short jam. Our scoreline currently is South Sea Banshees at 121 versus the Witches of Eastwick on 322. As we enter an official timeout.
Something I don't get to do all that often is commentate trackside, which is always good fun. Next to my scoreboard operators, feverishly crunching numbers, making sure everything's all sorted out.
And after this game, we have another game left to play. Our last but not least game of the day, which will be Pivot City versus the Diamond Firetails. Now we've recommenced. And we have jamming for Eastwick Strawberry Short Skate with a Grim Reaper for South Sea Banshees.
I thought it was loud over there. It's even louder over here. Nicely done though, the pack slowly coming off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. Strawberry Shortcake taking the inside part of turns 3 and 4 to get on through. It's 4 more points for the Witches of Eastwick. As now the pack enter into turn number 3. And again, the door left open nicely to the inside part of turn 3 and 4 for Strawberry Short Skate. Nice bit of defensive work there from the Witches of Eastwick. And that was taking place right in front of me, using the entirety of the track, going left to right, inside and out. Strawberry Short Skate though, more than up for the challenge, getting on through, picking up 4 more points. So very nice 20 points there added to the Witches of Eastwick.
And our scoreline is 125 to the Banshees versus 342 for the Witches of Eastwick. And we're having an official timeout. are about to recommence. Amazing defence from both teams. And coming out of the pack is Knives to meet you for the Witches. Jamming for the Banshees is a Vicious Citrus.
Nice move there from Vicious Citrus on the previous pass to get on through the pack. So the initial pass is all done and dusted then for Vicious Citrus. It's now about trying to get some points.
Both packs working very hard.
Nice to meet you, revving up the crowd, coming down the back straightaway. Nicely done to the inside part of the main straightaway for Knives. And it's 4 more points then for the Witches of East Vic. So the period clock has ended. We're now on the jam clock. And it's 4 more points then for Knives to meet you.
And that's our unofficial score is Banshees 129 versus the Witches 362. We'd like to thank our referees and our non-skating officials for making this game such a fantastic game. And I'd like to invite people to come down to the boundary to give all our players a nice high five and well done. And the rolling whistle has run and final score is now official, 129 to 362.
Very nice win indeed for the Witches of East Vic. And plenty of fans have made their way down from the stand onto the side of the track, which is what we like to see. Offer up a high five to both teams. Special shout out and congratulations to Sparks on commentating their first game. Well done. The referees just gathered in a zebra huddle in the middle of the track there, having a bit of a chat. As the Witches of East Vic, victorious in this game, make their way around the track. Very, very nicely done by them. And South Sea skaters also on the side of the track, ready to offer up a high five. As the captain, Nato Ninetails, makes the way around the track. Good job by the Witches of East Vic. Comprehensive win in the end. Nice to meet you, making their way around the track. Nice job by the Witches. Very, very good effort. As now we see South Sea Roller Derby Banshees making a victory lap around the track. So here come the Banshees then. Good job there by the Banshees. So that one is officially all done and dusted. My name's JR. Thanks so much for hanging around. Please continue to hang around and support the last game of today, Diamond Valley taking on Pivot City Rollers to round out day one action of the statewide Stampede tournament for 2023. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon. I just didn't want to come home and go, yeah. No, you're right. Don't know.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I think the first one's a hard slow.
The more you do, the better you become at it. And as I said, you'll create a narrative and just talk.
And you also
No, it's not.
like who they are just by.
Shortly, here it is now. It's up. Thank you, sir. One more game.
Thank you, sir. You're welcome.